Donald Trump is no longer just a former president. He's a power broker with private access to one of the richest royal families on earth. In the shadows of politics, beyond the headlines, Trump and Saudi Arabia have built a partnership worth hundreds of billions of dollars. But how deep does this relationship go? And what are they really building together? Donald Trump's close relationship with Saudi Arabia goes back several years. In 2017, just months into his presidency, he made an unusual move. His very first foreign trip was to Riyadh. This symbolic gesture signaled that the kingdom held a special place in his international agenda. During that visit, he embraced the leadership of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, often referred to as MBS. Trump called him a reformer with big dreams for Saudi Arabia. The result? A staggering $110 billion arms deal, one of the largest ever between the two nations. The meeting wasn't just ceremonial, it was strategic. Trump's administration viewed Saudi Arabia not only as a key ally in the Middle East, but also as a partner in driving regional stability through strength. But what makes this relationship truly unique isn't what happened while Trump was president. It's what came after. Once he left the White House in 2021, he didn't leave the Saudi connection behind. In fact, it got stronger. In 2022, the Saudi government, through its Sovereign Wealth Fund, invested $2 billion into Jared Kushner's private equity firm. Kushner, Trump's son-in-law and former advisor, had limited investing experience, but he had strong personal ties. That kind of money isn't just investment, it's confidence. It suggested that the kingdom was betting on long-term influence and on the Trump network's ability to deliver returns, financially or politically. By the time Trump announced his 2024 campaign, the bond with MBS had matured, and when he returned to the presidency, he did so with a level of personal trust and access no U.S. president had previously held with the kingdom. MBS was no longer just a foreign leader. He was a key partner. Together, they were no longer just discussing defense. They were orchestrating global investments. Would you trust your former advisor's startup with $2 billion? What kind of loyalty does that imply? In May 2025, President Trump returned to Saudi Arabia for what would become one of the most influential diplomatic and economic trips in recent memory. This was no ordinary state visit. It was a calculated unveiling of a joint vision for the future. After days of meetings, the two sides signed off on a series of deals and initiatives worth over $600 billion. Yes, $600 billion. Let's break that down. $142 billion in defense and military tech contracts. These weren't just about buying weapons, they included joint development of next-generation surveillance, air defense, and cyber warfare tools. $20 billion for advanced data centers, spearheaded by DataVolt, a Saudi technology firm with ambitions to rival the likes of Amazon Web Services. $80 billion in investments into American giants like Google, Oracle, and Uber. These weren't just stock purchases. Saudi Arabia was funding research into AI, autonomous mobility, and logistics infrastructure. $5 billion committed to a new U.S. Saudi space exploration agreement involving satellite development and deep space communication. $5 billion toward energy partnerships, including green hydrogen, solar farms in the Arabian desert, and new pipeline technologies. $4 billion into global sports and entertainment, with Saudi-backed firms acquiring stakes in football clubs, esports franchises, and media streaming companies. And these are just the public figures. Many more arrangements happened quietly, through private partnerships, off-record discussions, and sovereign fund negotiations. Few Western news outlets reported the full scope of the agreements. But behind closed doors, insiders say it was the most ambitious economic collaboration in modern U.S. Gulf relations. Trump didn't attend alone. Alongside him were familiar faces: Jared Kushner, Steve Mnuchin, former Treasury officials, and private equity executives. Many of them had roles in companies that stood to benefit from the agreements. So here's the big question. If a president makes deals that benefit both the country and his close circle of allies, what is that called? Smart diplomacy or private gain? This wasn't just geopolitics, it was personal business at a global scale. Beyond the press releases and contracts lies a deeper truth. This alliance is powered by personal trust. According to sources close to both camps, Trump and MBS communicate regularly, not through traditional state channels, but through private messaging systems, personal emissaries, and family intermediaries. They trust each other in ways most leaders can't or won't. Trump has often praised MBS in public. He's called him a visionary leader and a man of progress, and the admiration seems mutual. Saudi media, typically reserved in tone, has repeatedly highlighted Trump's business acumen and respect for regional traditions. In 2023, while out of office, the Trump Organization signed a deal to develop a luxury resort in Oman, just next to Saudi Arabia. The deal was publicly promoted as a Gulf tourism project, but insiders say the financing came in part from Saudi-backed real estate groups. Then came the invitations, private tours of Neom, Saudi Arabia's ambitious futuristic megacity. Reports suggest Trump was offered opportunities to co-invest in high-tech zones, exclusive real estate, and private ventures within the city, some of which remain off the record. There were also rumors that Qatar offered him a $400 million private jet as a gesture of goodwill, and that Saudi officials expressed interest in gifting him honorary roles in new financial forums. This isn't just influence. It's entry into an elite class that typically includes royals, billionaires, and oil magnates. So the question is, when a former president becomes this embedded in a foreign power's long-term vision, is he a partner, an investor, or something more? In just 5 years, Donald Trump transformed from a controversial American president into one of the most central figures in Gulf power dynamics. His bond with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman isn't just friendly, it's foundational. Together, they've launched a $600 billion vision for security, technology, and influence. And with each deal, Trump moves further from politician and closer to something resembling a private monarch in global affairs. No throne, no crown, but influence that shapes the future. Would you feel safe knowing one man holds this much quiet power? Or would you fear what happens when that power becomes permanent? Comment your thoughts and subscribe to the Elite File for more untold stories from the top of the world.